Hello, hello everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Bev, we have a very special guest tonight. Bev, the astrologer. Bev, thanks for being on, sis. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Linda, for having me on. It's definitely some interesting energies for sure.
Yeah, now listen, you guys, Bev and I were actually called on a spiritual journey a few weeks back. And it was like one of those things when spirit said, you just got to do this. And then it was in my face, it was in her face. And it's a shame. Hopefully, Diane will be able to make it next time too, because we're planning another one in September.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later. If you guys want to hear about our trip, if you want to hear about what we're, what we're thinking about doing and why and all that stuff, just stick around till the after astrology part. But we want to welcome you for joining us now. Oh, also, I'm going to show you a little slideshow too. Bev doesn't know what I'm going to show yet, but just a
No, I
couple
don't.
pictures.
I trust you.
Thanks. Just a couple pictures. Well, I know it's been a while since we've been on, and there's a lot going on with the astrology. And
Yes.
I think without further ado, Bev, I'm just going to say, well, first of all, let me say hello to everybody first. Everyone who's commented, let's give them a shout out. Thank you guys for being here. Rachel, a person who's a person. Stephanie V. Hey, sis.
Hey, good to see
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, Stephanie is just queen of you know what you're queen of, girl. Thank you. And Scotty boy, welcome, welcome, welcome. Jeanette, hey there. Amy, nice to see you guys. Angel, oh my God, my heart is so full. I love you.
Uh,
I love you, tribe. Thank you guys for being here.
yes.
All right, Bev, what is going on? Can we just like rip the band-aid off and start right away with the eclipse, or like what is
Well,
happening?
I know everybody is feeling this because it's definitely some big energies right now, and with everything we got going on in Aries, yeah, it's been a lot of squirrel moments. Go ahead and laugh, Linda, because you and I have been doing that.
Wait, first of all, if you guys are on this trip, we know, and the numbers, the alignments, the synchronicities. I'm just going to call that out right away. So, everyone who's getting these beautiful signs and symbols, and like I'm getting light right now, like there's just things that are happening that you see the path is being revealed. So, this is all intermesh. This is all divine timing. And I'm going to keep saying that. And I'll probably interrupt
Yes.
you a couple times, say it's divine timing.
That's all right, and it's all
But
connected.
yes, it is all connected. Squirrel moments, yes. I still feed my squirrels outside too. They keep coming around. Anyway, let's get back to the astrology because we could go all night about these coincidences. So that's what our after part's going to be for, I think. So we can just go totally off and down the rabbit holes.
Sounds good, Linda.
All right,
Sounds
cool.
good.
Oh yeah, that's my cue. There we go. Here's the
Yep.
chart, you guys. That's what we were waiting for.
Yeah, this is the chart for this. It's a new moon, but it's also the solar eclipse, so it makes it quite intense being a hybrid eclipse. And what I'm understanding when they're talking about a hybrid, when you have an eclipse, usually the moon will move in front of the sun, but this has got a two-parter to it. The moon moves in front of the sun, and it shows like the ring of fire around it. That's the first step, and then the second step, it actually blocks out the whole sun. So it's a two-part, and this only happens in like 7% of the eclipses, and it makes it a really powerful one, just being the hybrid eclipse, but also because Pluto is involved. When Pluto is involved in an eclipse, that makes this. I've heard people say that it's going to be like the second most powerful eclipse of this decade, and I can see
Yeah.
why looking at this chart and everything that we've got going on. Um,
Hey, Bev, I was hearing people saying it was going to be one of the biggest eclipses in like the century. And I was asking you too, like, is this something, are they just sensationalizing that, or do you really feel that yourself?
I feel it myself because as you're looking at the chart up there, you've got so much stuff in Aries, and Aries is a first sign, so you've got all these new beginnings. And right now, you've got the Sun, Moon, you've got Jupiter, you've got Chiron, all sitting there, and Eris is sitting in there too. So quite a bit of line up there in Aries, and you can look at the lower and higher expressions of it. Um, you've got the impatience, the anger, and the lower expressions, but then you have in the higher expressions looking at, okay, we're we have this eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries, which is it's a critical point. It's a choice point. We've
Mm.
learned these lessons through the first degrees of Aries. Now we're at the end degree, and we're going to take it forward into Taurus. So it's a big time of self-discovery, gifts coming online, and at a critical degree, it's going to give you some choice points. And with that Pluto being involved in the chart at 0 degrees of Aquarius, it's definitely going to be some rebirth, some transformations. There's going to be things falling away, but this all has to happen to get into the new. And that's what this chart is pretty much about. Because all the planets, as they start in Aries, that's the first sign. So they're starting a whole new journey around the astrological wheel. So when you look at all that energy right there in Aries to begin with, that's a lot. And I know we've done so much healing and stuff with Chiron in Aries, and Chiron's involved in this too. And let's see, Chiron's not showing on this chart.
I'm looking to see if I can find Chiron.
It's in between the moon and Jupiter there, I think. It's actually Chiron and Jupiter are close to being conjunct in this. Let me pull my other chart up. I've got some new astrology software, and I'm really excited about it. I'm learning the little ins and outs of it, and it's been quite interesting. I got another chart that I'm looking at in the meantime. I pulled this chart up because it's got the main aspects on it, but I'm looking at another chart for some of my notes and some of the things that didn't print on that as the major aspects. There's a lot of little things involved in this too.
Yeah. Well, it just makes it more comprehensive for the readings that you do too. I mean, your work is just incredible. And by the way, did I tell you that the screenshot for this happened to be 1147?
No, you didn't. Oh, that's so funny. That's funny, Linda.
Yep, I know. It's a little inside joke, but that's my galactic kin. It just shows up multiple times on everything. So if you know about the numbers and the codes, and that's what I was talking about. Okay. So where's Chiron?
Chiron's at 16 degrees of Aries there. So it's on the other side of Jupiter.
Over here somewhere. Okay. Is that right? You said 16 degrees.
16 degrees Chiron's at
over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you've got Chiron in Aries too, and you've got Eris in Aries too. So you've got like 5 major things in Aries right now. And Eris is a big time involved in this chart. Eris is actually conjunct Jupiter right now, and Jupiter expands. So Eris is the female counterpart to Mars. It's all about the female warrior, about things being fair, just, people speaking out, everybody being heard. So right now, as far as the energies goes, we could be seeing a lot happening on a global level. We could see some false flags. We could see some energies just coming out, in the lower expressions like that. So kind of be on your P's and Q's, because it's a pretty volatile period right now. But, it depends on how this all plays out and how the energies are working. So you've got that, but I see really good things happening in the chart. Let's see here. What's the next thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like geopolitically going on and everything to do with the monetary, the super silver squeeze or whatever they're calling now. There's so much happening with all the BRICS nations, and how many, I think there's over 60 some, 70 or more, even Mexico joining there. And there's a lot of, they're moving away from the petrodollar. So there's a lot of things happening. And like when you were talking about Pluto, and I know we did a couple of specials you came on my channel to talk about Pluto a couple times too. This is huge. This is such a huge reset, like Age of Aquarius, Pluto, the change maker, a lot of different things that he brings. And I don't pretend to know enough about astrology. I listen to people like you and people you recommend, like Molly and other astrologers, that 11th house, Phoenix and Laura Walker, and people, because you've recommended them. And I appreciate it so much, because everybody has a nice little spin that they put to it, and nobody can tell it like you can tell it. It's awesome to hear that. And when you're talking about people spouting off and going off or being careful, I was remembering just watch, just be an observer, but also there's people speaking their truth. There's people that are coming out and saying things now that you never would have expected to hear from. And it's like, yay, come on, good job. Just encourage people when they're speaking their truth. Be an observer. You don't have to share your story if someone's sharing their story with you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I just had that happen to me today, and I was just there to bear witness to this fella who was coming to tears. So he was just speaking his truth, and he came to tears, and I just allowed space for that. But there's a lot of that going on. It's like, okay, maybe I'll just hide in my room till this is all over. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's that Chiron there in Aries too. You know, Chiron spends more time in Aries than it does any other sign, and there's been a lot of healing. And right
Mhm.
now, as you're looking at this chart, okay, Chiron is where did my other chart go?
You said Chiron was right after Jupiter here. It's 16 Aries or something
Yeah,
like that.
I'll be glad when I master the chart thing on this and get some other points in
Well,
here.
well, just on Bev's behalf too, she just got this awesome, incredible new software, and I got to see it when we were out there, and it is
Yes,
definitely what is it? The user manual, something like 500 and some pages or something crazy.
521 pages. Yeah, and it's like, I really
Uh-huh.
wanted to learn, but I really didn't expect it to be like a dump truck, loading the paperwork up on top of me because I don't have patience for that stuff, as Linda can tell you.
Yeah. Well, you got enough of it down that I think, you can just add a little piece. You're doing great. You really are. I'm proud
Thank
of you.
you. Uh, what I was looking at in the chart, though, so yeah, you're right, Linda, that Pluto being at that 0 degrees of Aquarius, it's that we're kind of in the crossover years, like they call it. We're getting ready for the age of Aquarius. And so we're getting a little taste. Pluto came into Aquarius at 0 degrees on March 23rd, and we're going to get a couple months of that. It's going to progress a little bit, and then it's going to go retrograde into Capricorn until the beginning of next year. So it's just opening up some doors and stuff. But if you look at how Saturn is there in the chart up in Pisces. You've got Saturn's making some squares, and I see that as being Saturn squaring the sun and moon, and it's also making another square to uh, Venus in Gemini there. So it's about being responsible with things. We've done this healing. Pluto's saying, okay, here's how we're going to take things forward. I'm going to give you a little taste of that, and then I'm going to give you a little time to sit back and kind of let things fall into place. And I think this eclipse here is stepping us into the new beginnings. And because you got that Chiron involved there too, Chiron is that wounded healer. And then being in Aries, we're going back and we're looking at those core wounds because you have Mars in Cancer right now, and Mars in Cancer is all about the home, and it's making a sextile to the sun and moon there also. So you've got a lot of things going on. You've got home issues coming up. You've got the original wound of Chiron in the Aries. So we're working a lot on those wounds, and we're really finding out what the truth is, the things that we've healed, and what it is we want to bring forward. And it's finding that place of love of yourself and what you've learned, and being able to decide, you know what, okay, this has served me well for now, but this is not my calling. And people are feeling that at a level. When something doesn't resonate anymore, I think we're going to see a lot of people change careers, a lot of breakups, a lot of groups and people just falling away from your life that just don't resonate anymore. And it's all part of bringing in the new, that we're going into this age of Aquarius. So a lot of people are walking around with that wound on their sleeve right now. So kind of be careful with your words and how you talk to people, because right now we're doing some major healing, and we're given time through this because we have this solar eclipse in Aries, and we have a lunar eclipse coming up on May 5th, and that's in Scorpio. That'll be the last one before we change the nodes. So we've had the north node in Taurus, we've had the south node in Scorpio, and we're going to switch in July over to the north node in Aries and the south node in Libra. So we got some major more Aries energies coming up here in July. And I think it's going to take it's like a two-part almost to me. It's leading us up to that point, and it's got a lot involved that I think it's going to be some great revelations. And I think that Eris Warrior is just going to kind of come out and say, hey, enough of this. We can't do this anymore. And then you've got Saturn back here saying, okay, we're going to be responsible about this. Let's take a look. Let's see what we want to do for the long term. And Pluto is saying, hey, this is the only way to go forward. We've seen where this has gotten us. Now it's almost like that choice point. Are we going to make the same mistakes? It's almost like an Atlantis point again. Are we going to take the technology and let it just take over? And that's how I see a lot of this in this chart.
I wanted to ask you, have you looked at the numbers that are on here for the minutes? This is Saturn right here at 33, right? Or
Okay, where you?
33, are you looking at the thing? Let me see.
4 degrees and 33 minutes.
Oh, the minutes. Okay, so
Arc minutes.
I was looking at the minutes for all of these and I'm going, come on. We got 45 here and then 5, 5, 5,
I
33,
saw that.
9. Come on. Like,
Yes, yes.
I'm just looking at this. I'm just blown away at all the numbers. Let me come over here to the comments for a minute because I feel like I forgot that the comments were going on. I was just listening to you. I was listening really intently. And then I'm like, oh, forgot to come over and say hello. Amy, welcome to the chat and the call or the group, the conversation. Let's just say conversation. Dina, welcome. Shelly K, PETA. Okay, you guys, I'm so glad. And you're all talking here good. I hope you answer. If I miss any questions, I hope that you guys answered for each other. There's something about a 19-year cycle that's going on right now that they were talking about.
19-year cycle.
Yeah, let me see. Who was talking about a 19-year cycle? Jeanette was saying that Amy said it. So, oh, here it is. It's like a 19-year cycle happening right near, from what she understands.
There's several cycles happening, and I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't write down particulars as far as some dates. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
staying on what this is right now. There's a lot
Yeah.
of dates that I could have written down and stuff. I just didn't. But yeah, there's so many cycles within cycles. I know, with Saturn going into Pisces, that starts another 30-year cycle of
Oh, yeah.
Saturn.
You're
So
right.
yeah, you've got a lot of things just starting out. And when you start out with all these planets in Aries, they're starting their cycle, and each one takes a different amount of years. I know the one she's talking about, but it's just not coming to me.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Look, what you called it out exactly the way it is. There's cycles within cycles. Sometimes people are paying attention to galactic kid numbers or the cycles over there, and then there's cycles in astrology, and there's so many. You can't know them all. You just can't. Like here, thank you guys so much. Stephanie's recommending a book. It's called The Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. And
Okay.
sure enough, Scotty Boy's got all three. So, don't tell me you don't
Oh,
vibe with your tribe, you guys. You all vibe
exactly.
together. Okay. Stephanie's making sourdough bread. Good job.
I
I'm
wish I
trying
had
to catch
half
up.
of Stephanie's energy. Stephanie's
I
always just moving along.
Oh
I
man, I
love
see
it.
Stephanie at the farm later. I see her canning and teaching everybody, the medicines and recipes, and her and Mark over there just running the show in the herbal kitchen. The herbal, I don't know.
I
All
could
right.
definitely use some of her energy for sure.
Well, the energy's been crazy. It's like you're just if you learn how to surf it, you're feeling this now. It's not just Aries season, it's the eclipse, and a lot of people that have things in their 12th house that are here to just get it done this lifetime. Like, you know, what
Yes.
it's like. And the wave comes,
Yes.
it's like when spirit's knocking, you better answer.
Yeah.
Um, all right.
We
So I
love.
don't see if anybody has any questions. If you guys want to drop them in the comments, that's fine. I might have missed them, but I'm going to try to keep an eye now. So go ahead.
Also too, with the sun and moon, we've got that at 29 degrees, and you've got the north node at 3 degrees of Taurus. So that's an out of sign conjunction. So the north node is involved in this eclipse too, which makes it even a little deeper. I mean, what are we going to do? Again, talking about how are we going to take this and reform it so we don't destroy humanity? We've learned from our mistakes, and this eclipse is really shining the light on that. And
That's
it's
powerful.
yeah, it's in the 3 degrees there. So in July, it's going to back up into Aries. So we're looking at the last little bit of that north node being in Taurus, which Taurus is about our values, and it's what we value of anything, whether it be financial, whether it be just the people in our lives,
Your mission.
our personal things, our mission. It's about everything that we love, and how much have we reevaluated that in the last few years.
And I just want to jump in on that one because a lot of us here are on mission and we know it. And we're just like, let's get on with the show. Or you feel that, or you're showing up. You just keep showing up in whatever way you do every day. And you're being patient. You're learning patience. And I'm saying this because I'm also learning patience too.
Patience. Yeah.
And every time you think you got it mastered, you're given just a little bit more to show. Just hurry up and then wait or get it all done. And then no, not
Yes.
yet. Right there. It's like, just hang on, just hang on. And so I think a lot of us are no, we're on point, we're on mission, we're here, we've showed up, and things have to unfold in divine time. And when you were talking about the North Node, To
Yes.
me, that screams, and it feel like I can feel all over. This is like a total body feeling. This is like what we're doing for this is humanity's north node in, reevaluation, in check for evolution or ascension, or the next step, the next leap, the veils dropping, the simulation ending, whatever you want to call it. It just feels like this is what we came here to do, is to break out of it. It's the chrysalis breaking out, it's the phoenix rising, it's all of that. And
It's all of that. You're right,
yet,
especially with
and
Pluto, the
we don't
rebirth.
know, it's a late switch moment. How's it going to be? You don't know. It could be very disruptive, like what you're saying with Pluto. Go ahead.
Okay, and so then you've got the North Node involved in this eclipse. It's got that conjunction, but that means it's opposing the South Node. So all the things that we did before, the South Node is what we brought into this. It's the experience, the history. So it's opposing this eclipse and saying, no more, we can't continue to do this. Now, here's the North Node. How are we going to take this? So that's a lot of what's going on too, and it's bringing gifts online, new parts of ourselves that we haven't met before. And it's interesting too, because the eclipse makes a trine to the galactic center, which is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. And that's galactic knowledge coming in. That's things coming back online, things that we don't even know we're capable of doing, but it's all part of our mission. And this is like another kickoff point, the way I'm seeing it, as all
Mm-hmm.
these things are sitting there in Aries and we're getting ready for all these big changes. The nodes are changing. We also got Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde on Friday, and that's going to be in
Oh.
Taurus, and it's going to cover some areas that it's already been through. It's given us a chance. Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap, but it gives us a chance to kind of go back and look and see what we overlooked or what we may have missed the first time. And that's a good thing with it being in Taurus, because it gives us that grounding. It's an earth sign. It's our first earth sign. So you find that grounding. And I think we really need that right now, because I don't know about everybody else, but man, it's been challenging to stay grounded with all this energy coming in. It's like I
Yeah.
almost feel like, just like your whole body's vibrating, and you'll start one thought out and you get about 12 things going on somewhere else and interruptions. And yeah, it's just been nuts.
It's called going quantum. It's like we're
Is that what
spiraling
it
up,
is?
and yeah, multidimensional quantum. And what we call it, like when you start to go off balance too, is vortexing. You start to notice if you look
Vortexing.
up, you get dizzy or you feel a little yeah, it's literally like if you could see the energy, the Merkaba, the pyramid turns one way, one goes one way, one goes the other way. It
Yeah.
spins, it creates toroidal fields. And we have multiple ones. But as we start feeling the energy spinning and we're coming to alignment, it's almost like you're at the center of a tornado. Like you are the storm, literally.
That's what it feels like. I don't know. Today, for sure, it's just everything moving so fast. And it's like
Yeah.
trying to stay on top of it all has definitely been challenging.
Yeah,
But
it is. Well, it's staying on top of your energy also requires that patience and that calm to just stop and take a breath sometimes and notice if you're holding your stomach in, or your shoulders feel heavy, or your back's not straight, because the kundalini, that's the trip that we took and everything a lot with the snake, we'll talk about
yes,
that later, but
yes,
a lot of that has to do with your spine and your nervous system and the way the energy's coming into your body, or not coming in as well as it could maybe. So it's all about self-alignment, self-correction, taking that pause to breathe, and realizing too, when you're doing a conscious breath, you can really go a long time without breathing when you take over the reins of your conscious breathing. Sometimes you have to remind yourself, oh, I should take a really deep breath now. I just haven't given a lot of oxygen to the body in the last 10 minutes. I've been so focused on what I'm doing. You can get
yeah,
lost down that too. So just remember to take care of the body. That's my point.
yeah, yeah. And with that Mars being up there in Cancer too, uh, Mars is not comfortable in Cancer. Cancer is kind of like the watery energy. And Mars is the ruler of this eclipse because Mars rules Aries. So Mars is more important during this eclipse. And Mars is making a positive aspect to Saturn. So Saturn's supporting Mars, and Mars is looking at the wounds that came back there from the Chiron and Aries, and that's going to be in play. The aspect of Mars with Chiron until I think it's May 14th. So it's going to be involved in this next eclipse too. This lunar eclipse that's coming up. So
Oh,
there's a lot of real, what's the word I want to use? A lot of tender-hearted stuff.
mm,
And when we get into Taurus season, which again is just in a couple of days right after the eclipse. Mercury goes in retrograde and the sun goes into Taurus. And that's going to give us a break that we need, because things have been moving so fast. And some of this stuff we're really going to have to go inside and kind of process and really be honest with ourselves. So we need that time. And I think the Mercury retrograde is going to give us that time. So when we hit the lunar eclipse and then get out of that aspect with Mars, we definitely need that time to do the processing.
So after the next eclipse is going to be when we're going to get the integrating processing time, or between now and after?
Between now and then. Yeah. Between now and then, because I don't know how we do it if we didn't get that.
I was going to say,
yeah.
All right, gotcha.
And Mercury is in retrograde. I think it's until the 5th, which is right the same day. We have that solar eclipse on the 5th. And then the 14th, I think it is, we finally are out of that aspect with Mars and Chiron. So a lot of people are feeling those wounds right now, and even wounds that go back to our first experience. You know, how are we encouraged or not encouraged to express our feelings? It's pretty much on the home arena, because you got that Mars in Cancer. So, and then in Aries with the Chiron, it's our first experience of everything. You know, were we encouraged to speak out? You know, what things did we go through that maybe in our subconscious that we don't know about still, that's buried? I mean, Linda, you saw how things come popping up with me when you and I took that trip. I mean, it was just, where's this coming from, you know?
Yeah. Well, soul infusion is no joke. So I'm going to call it like it is. You know me, I'm pretty blunt. You know, I'll just call it like it is, sometimes to my own detriment, but whatever. Bluntness, I value directness. Yes. And I've learned how to soften it a little bit, but I'm just going to say it like it is, man. Soul infusion. You know, everybody's this aspect, that aspect, this part, that part. Yes, we can fragment ourselves as much and as often as we need to. And we are in other locations. So sometimes we need to view things that way, because our human brain can't comprehend. And it's like, the more light of your soul, the more you are becoming what you already are. I know that doesn't really make sense, but you're channeling your soul, and nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Dina, thanks. Stephanie, she started pepper seeds last week. Bipolar Michigan definitely ain't ready to be planted in yet.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, same here in Ohio. It's been crazy. I put the window unit air conditioner in, and then I had to put plastic up around it because it started blowing and almost sleeting the other night. I was like, you got to be kidding me, right?
That's funny. Oh, also, Jeanette was telling us that Pluto's in Aquarius for 3 months, so we get a sneak peek of what the next 20 years will be like. That's the 20-year cycle they were talking about.
Yeah, right, that's the 20 years. Yes, thank you.
That helps.
I've been down so many rabbit holes with different cycles and stuff, and learning this new programming with this software. It's been a lot, but I'm tackling it pretty well, I think.
Yeah. One thing at a time, you know. Sometimes you try to take on more, you know, than you probably should. The universe will definitely shut that down.
Yes.
Do it too much. And other times I think, I swear to God, this experiment that we're in, I swear to God, they're just like, oh, let's just see on all the way up amped. Can they handle this? I swear they're moving a little control, because sometimes the bottom falls out and you're just done and you know it. And other times, I don't know. It's like super speed or something. Like, what is going on?
Well, I think, you know, at one time when we were setting this all up, we thought, oh, this will be funny to do. But it was when we were on the other side, you know, not realizing when we came here in the physical body, no, it's not that fun, you know. It's like, no, thanks. I'll pass on that one.
Okay. They're talking about the truth, speaking the truth in the comments. I think you were hitting the nail on the head. And then thank you, Dina and Scotty. And then they're saying, just say it, speak the truth, whatever. And if he wanted BS, he would get, Scotty said, if I wanted BS, I would get a TV.
Amen on that. Amen on that. Oh. All I watch are Roseanne reruns. What can I say?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just need something for your brain to have in the background. I have a loop. I have one album that I play on loop. And yes, I said album. Dating myself. And it's just something that it's a Native American thing. Sometimes you just got to do that to take the brain off the program. So all the signals that are coming in, and all you want to do is fill your space with what you're choosing, not what's coming into your space uninvited.
Yeah.
You know, because you can get security to a certain point, but when there's so much, it's so heavy out there in the psychic astral lower realms. They're a dying breed. They're screaming and crying and kicking on the way out, and they're trying every way they can. So they tried to
Yes.
take my thing
Yes.
out, like they knocked my internet out and different things. But you know what? You just reset. You take a couple breaths. You remember who you are, and they really can't touch you. They really can't.
No. And
Just gotta know it.
if you look back at the history too of the date, there's been a lot of things that have happened on 419. I was listening to Laura Walker, and she was going back in the history of some of the things that we've had happen, and 420 being Hitler's birthday. I never knew that. I found that rather interesting. So
When was the birthday?
it's tomorrow, 420. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the
Yeah.
day that they said a lot of the sacrifices and different things go on is a really big day, and the eclipse. Oh, geez.
See, and we've got Eris there that's conjunct Jupiter. This is a time that they use for nefarious things. It's just part of what it is. And I think the thing she mentioned Waco and
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oklahoma City bombing and then that
Was
Boston
Waco the
Marathon.
was Waco the Davidian?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, I heard that too.
But
I
looking
didn't
back at
know
the
that.
history, yeah,
I
looking
didn't
back
know.
at the history of the astrology when things were at certain places, again, you can use this for higher expression or lower expression. It just depends on what you want to do. So when you see these positive things that they're working on the other side. But as we know, I don't think it's going to be allowed to happen. I think we've come too far in our evolution, and too many people are coming online. I even
Mhm.
heard Molly say people are going to start having spontaneous awakenings, like spontaneous combustion. And that's a lot of this energy coming in too. So I like when she said that, because yeah, I can see things in the chart. It's cool how every astrologer, it's like an auto accident. You got 10 people, they'll tell you 10 different stories. Same thing with the chart. You got 10 different astrologers, and each one will pick out something that jumps out to them. And that's what I love about doing this astrology. So whenever I pass something on like that, I always like to say who said that, because I definitely respect other astrologers, and we all have our own niche and what we see.
Yeah. Um Oh, so wait, Stephanie's saying she's got to check out the video that Laura Walker did on 420, 419, 420. Oh,
Yeah, if you
okay.
go
You mean
to,
when she did it? Okay. See, when she said 420, when you guys say 420, like I just
I
found out when
know,
my kids were in high school what 420 really, for them really meant for this generation coming up.
yeah, but
Um,
think about how that's being used now. Uh-huh.
Interesting. And it's like
Yes.
it's like a day of if you think the whole world just took a couple hits of weed or an edible or something like that all on the same day. If the whole world did that at once, we'd have world peace. I've heard people say that. And we'd have spontaneous healing and all that because of the energetics, what, the power of it, the type of day, or because everybody's focusing on the same thing, believing the same thing.
Right. Right.
So they
It's what
can't take your mind away or what you're thinking in your brain, not your brain, but when you're using your mind to communicate and telepathize and in the quantum, they can't take that away. They can
no.
only make you think in a program. And then once the prison is, it was erected by yourself actually, but you allowed the program. So once you break out of that and you have the free mind, you guys know I'm preaching to the choir on this one, but it's like you don't have to listen to those signals that are trying to tell you what to do or prompt a behavior of, oh, this feels fearful, so I'm just going to stay inside and I'm not going to go take
Yeah.
that walk because something makes you go, oh, but yet if you take the walk and you realize, oh my god, a breath of fresh air, why haven't I done this every day for the last 10 years, like, whatever. you
But
know
Linda, that's like when we took that little trip, we didn't really tap into anything. We stayed out of the media and all the news that was going on, and
yeah,
it was such peacefulness.
yeah,
And you have to step away right now with all this stuff going on, and the mud that's getting slung. And anyway, if you get into that too much, you're focusing on that, and you get what you focus on. So that's, with more people waking up and the focus being on the evolution of humanity, just keep those thoughts out there. I know, no, it's not like rainbows and unicorns, crap like that. Don't act like nothing else doesn't exist, but let's just make this stronger.
Good, well said. Amy's saying she's been vibrating Monday and Tuesday, her body. I had to ground off and on. And then today, seeing speckles and plasma like images in the atmosphere. My brother started seeing some lights and flecks and things recently. I'll say recently is in like the last half a year or so. And he said he used to see him when he was younger, and he used to be able to just relax his eyes and kind of tap into that at will. But then that went away for a while. And now I guess those gifts are just coming back online. People like the gifts. Think of all of your senses, each one of those heightened, are able to see beyond just the physical realm. Each one of your senses just beyond the physical realm is your sixth sense. It's all of your five senses, but they're heightened and online, basically. They're quantum senses. Oh, I like that.
So you guys talking about like little snowflakes falling? Like it looks like little white specks snowing? Okay. I used to get those off and on when changes were happening. That's when I'd see those.
Yeah, if I really relax or something, I can see things in my peripheral. And sometimes just a bright light will catch me here and there, or an orb will go by or whatever to just, oh, what was that? And then it's gone. But I'm ready. I'm ready to see it all the time, as are many of you, I'm sure. Okay. Bev, I ran your chart. Do you have anything else? Let's see if there's any questions. You guys have any astrology questions while we're here? I know. I'm sorry if I missed any already. If I did, write it again.
I was going to mention real quick, though, when the sun goes into Taurus right after this, welcome that relief. The grounding won't be so hard to get. So just hang in a couple more days. Because, yeah, when the sun goes into Taurus, that's definitely going to calm the seas a little bit, make the ride a little smoother, per se.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. All right. So so is tonight, is it 1:23 or?
Yeah, I've got like
12:34?
12:13, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And this chart I think was set in New York.
Okay.
So that's the New York time. That's Eastern Standard.
Time.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Because there's also a near Earth thing that's, and I think they're trying to get people to be fearful, because I think this is really good. This is a reset we want. And there was this asteroid or near something that's gone by, and there was a couple of rocks. They just found one yesterday, and it went between the moon and the Earth. Then there's another one, and it's like, I'm feeling into this, and I'm like, okay, there's always stuff in the atmosphere. There's always rocks. Like, we're not going to just get suddenly plowed with something and not have our defense
they just saw it today.
Like, they're trying to scare us. Like, don't buy into the fear. I'm telling you guys right now, don't buy into the fear. And if you still get stuck looking at certain things, it's clickbait and it turns out to be fear porn, just laugh at it and send it love. Send it like so much plasma that it has no choice but to transform. Like, you have to, you're going to smother it with your Care Bears ooey gooey,
Yes.
Ooey gooey plasma to them, but to us, it's love light.
Exactly. I'm looking at something here, Linda. There was a Sabian symbol that was in this that I wanted to pull up. I gotta see if I can find it here.
Oh, go right ahead. Amy's saying that she has family who's asking about stuff that she's been talking about for years. Yes.
I'm seeing that too.
Yes, Bev is having that as well, right? I'm seeing it.
Yes.
Sort of.
The clouds. It's nice to see.
Go ahead.
Because, a lot of years I questioned my own sanity with some of this stuff, and to see other people finally seeing and maybe not thinking you're quite as nuts as they thought you were.
You cannot be on this path without having questioned your own sanity. I've written several chapters about it. So seriously.
There's been many times, that I've wondered that.
Yeah. I mean, look, you'd have to have a serious God complex. And I mean that in a derogatory way, not in a good way. You'd have to have a serious God complex to not question your own sanity if you're on this path of ascension.
Yes, right? Because it's stuff the linear mind can't explain, or the rational, logical mind cannot explain,
Yep.
I found what I was looking for.
Okay.
If you're looking at that north node there, it's at 3 degrees, 58 minutes. So you round it up to 4, and that's the Chiron point. And the Chiron point, the Sabian symbol is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Get out.
No.
That's awesome.
That's exactly it. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna have Mercury retrograde over that point too. We've got a lot of interaction with that Chiron point.
So it's going to come
but that
in.
pot at the end of the rainbow,
they're going to try to squash it down. It's going to come back in even stronger.
Yes, that's what's going to happen, because they can't. I don't think they can stop it at this point.
We are gold.
Yes, I like that.
Scotty Boy says, if it weren't for insanity, I'd have no sanity at all. Yes.
Amen. Let's see, there's something else. Another Sabian
Amber,
symbol.
good point, Amber Lachelle. I hug my insanity. It's okay. Yeah, good one. I love you guys. You have another Sabian symbol for what are we going to look at?
No, I'm still looking. Just bear with me a second.
Oh no, go ahead. I love the Sabian symbols. So it's funny. Bev was talking about Sabian symbols for something when we were on the trip, or we were listening. I forget. She was showing me Laura Walker's calendar, and we got on the topic of Sabian symbols. And I don't know if I should share this.
I don't remember. Oh yes.
No, all right. I'll save that for later. We'll save that.
It was on there again today.
No,
the one I was talking about. Yeah, it's another Sabian symbol.
The one with the two.
The two.
Yeah,
something spinsters. Yeah.
All right. 14, 4114 just came in when you said that.
Oh my God.
Oh God, you guys, these numbers.
It's been crazy. It's really been crazy.
14s, the triples, especially the triples with the 5s. I mean, I know Angel's seeing those two a lot. You guys are all seeing them. Michael.
I woke up at 123 this morning.
Yeah. It's
123.
It's literally like everything's so coded 41. It's like you just look down at 41, and 11. Yeah. You just look down and you see it. You can't not see it.
Okay, I found what I was looking for finally. Looking at that Mercury there in Taurus, it actually is at 16 degrees, and it's an old teacher fails to interest his pupils in traditional knowledge. It's about breaking out of the traditional knowledge and taking that step higher. So we've got Mercury sitting there too, who's going to go into retrograde and come back over that point again. So it's knowledge coming online, but it's not the traditional knowledge of what we were taught. So many things are going to be destroyed that we thought. It's going to be, I don't even know, phenomenal. There's so much that we've been taught, and you all know that. That's not the real truth.
Yeah, I think just when we see it finally manifest physically, like just stuff like, you guys, it's not just all these numbers. Thank you very much for posting them down. Wait a minute. Subbed? You weren't subbed to me already, Scotty? Yes, you were. Just talking to somebody else, I'm sure. It's not just the numbers. It's things like, you know, who Paul White Gold Feather. Paul White Gold Eagle. Or Feather. I want to say Feather. I'm sorry. I'm seeing all the feathers.
I was just waiting.
Feathers everywhere. Like I have feathers on my mic. I have feathers everywhere, but it's just sometimes your brain just goes whoop. So anyway, he picks a thumbnail of different thumbnails that are really cool all the time, and he's got cool graphics and whatever. And well, this one has a picture of a lady holding a golden apple, like the apple's manifesting in her hands. Okay. And if you follow my channel, you know, I used to be like, okay, think it's there, like apple, you put your hand out and you're imagining an apple in your hand. Well, I don't know how many times I've done that. Bev knows I've done that. Diane, knows I've done that. And sure enough, we're listening while we're there, and the girl's holding an apple in the thumbnail right after we were talking about manifesting something. I don't know. But it's not just numbers that show up. I'm saying there's miracles everywhere you turn your head. Everywhere you go, there's a living miracle waiting for you to just notice it. At least that's what I'm saying.
One thing after another. I mean, you and I got to laugh, and it just got to be, I mean, it was just so in your face that it got to be comical. You had to laugh because it's like, you can't make this stuff up. Like I had said a phrase about, it's just like stepping from one doorway into another. I said that. We sat down and listened to Paul, and he said the exact same thing.
He said the same words. Yep.
Yeah, same exact phrase. Yeah, it's just like stepping from one doorway to another. That's so you can't.
You can't make it up, but you hear the people, they're saying you just can't make this stuff up. Willow, welcome. Nice to see you.
Oh.
Yeah, guys, like you can't make it up. And sometimes you just have no words for it because it's so powerful. It's just your soul coming in to experience this. You're like a kid in a candy store. It starts to get giddy for you. And it doesn't, you guys probably are all giddy all the time out there, or You're challenging yourself to get to the giddy part, because it's a joy to experience things from the eyes of your soul. And as you're becoming more and more light that you bring in and express out, that's what you're experiencing, you know? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm stepping all over your astrology part. You probably have some more to
No,
go.
no, actually, you know what? I think I'm kind of good. Yeah, actually, I think I am.
Doing good? All right.
Yeah, I just pretty
Can we
much
pull this
covered
down?
the main aspects. Yeah, sure. Or you can just leave it up. I don't know if you wanted to talk or what you wanted to show. You had some
Yeah,
slides and
yeah. I do. I want to show a slideshow, so I have to take this one off to do that. So if you have anything you want to talk about for a minute, I'm gonna pull this out so I can pull those in.
not really just hang on. You know, I was looking at the Eris point, which is where Eris is stationed at, is 21 Aries, and that Sabian symbol is a boxer entering the ring.
Hmm.
And it's the warrior, the female warrior, the divine feminine coming out saying, hey, you know what? No more of this either. So it's balancing that.
I like that. There's a lot of balancing going on, isn't there?
There is, and that's what everything is about, is balance. You know, polarities. You see the polarities in the chart between, you know, the two opposite signs. You see the energies of each of the planets. You've got polarities in everything. It's all about finding the balance, says the Libra.
That's the Libra. That's like story of my life, right?
Yes, yes, everything's about balance for sure.
Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is before I do the pictures, I'm just gonna let you guys know my plans. As you probably know, you follow along. Ascension Maps is now complete. So phase one, I'll say, is complete. So if you're following, let me put the banner up if you want to follow that one. Sacred Warrior Space podcast is actually now, the cycle 3 Ascension Maps is complete. So there's 9 episodes that are done. It's over on the Rumble channel, but for some reason they're not showing the second to last one, which is called Walking Between the Worlds. It's not available for whatever reason, but it is over on the website. So everything's hosted over on the website. Just go to sacredwarriorspace.com if you want to watch just that podcast. I know I've been directing you guys to my Rumble channel for a while on that, but hey, you know, if they don't want to show it, or it's Walking Between the Worlds, maybe it's kind of doing something weird. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but all I know is the algorithms are fascinating to see the difference between YouTube and Rumble. So that I'll just leave that there. Now, Ascension Maps, the next project that I'm working on is Bev's. I already saw your smile, you know. Spirit has just had me Spirit's basically writing a book for me, but it's not just a book. It's not 2 books, 3 books. I thought it was 3 earlier today, but it's now turned into 4 books. So that's what I've been working on, and they're going to be
Linda's,
coming out really, really soon. So yeah, they've they've already been done, and it's like my soul had to show me I've already done this work. Now I'm putting it together, and it's like the chronicles and the diaries and the articles, and these things are coming together through Ascension Maps. So Ascension Map is the quantum hubs, you know, station that's going to house the foundational and wisdom teachings that my soul came here to share. So it's really cool to watch this come to life, and I'm humbled and I'm overjoyed, and it's like I almost can't stop working because it's a labor of love. And I'm saying some of the same things I was saying before, but things get refined and presented. Like you said, that Sabian symbol the one time was something about a teacher failing to interest to students or something. And then there was one that
yes,
was recreates a way to do it right when Ascension Maps had
yes,
just been given to me. So it was like the
yes.
Sabian symbol was lining up with what I was being guided by my own soul to kind of move on to, like repackage Ascension Maps in a way that's a book, because now it's on a website, but put it together in a book, you know, and now it's not just one. So anyway, I got 4 books coming out, you guys.
Linda's been hitting it hard, man. She's been doing some work for sure.
I just letting it happen, I guess. I love working hard. I can't wait for this next phase. It's like I want to swim on that wave on the way in. I don't want to get knocked down and around again. Not this last time.
Yeah.
We've done too much work. We've come too far to let this kind of stuff get in our way. We've got this.
Exactly.
We know it's not, stop licking your wounds. Let's get out of the closet or come out of the corner, get off the couch or whatever it is. We know what we need to do, and we show up. And so if you want to take the journey, guys, you don't have to pay anything. If you want to get the book someday, that's great. I'll let you know when they're coming out. I will. But if you want to take the journey, ascensionmaps.com is available right now. It's free. And a lot of the stuff you probably already know. So you can just play the podcast in the background if you're just looking for white noise or Linda noise, or share it with other people, because they shouldn't not be able to get the teachings that maybe to meet their soul. If they want to meet their soul, they should not be able to get the teachings just because they don't have money. So it's free for everybody. Just share it with anyone, I hope. And I thank you for doing that in advance. You guys are the best.
Beautiful.
So now, Bev, our trip, you want to tell them how it started? Because didn't you start it by sending me a video?
Actually, we were both listening to Paul, and it both caught both of our attentions. And I said something to you about it, and then it just kind of snowballed. You kept hearing about it from two or three people. You tell the story. Yeah.
Well, 3 times in the same day, I heard, in addition to what Bev and I were hearing about Ohio, we were hearing about Serpent Mound, or is it Serpentine Mount? Is it Serpent Mount or Serpentine
It's called
Mount?
both. It's called both.
Because I keep calling it like one, and then I keep seeing it the other way too. So it's in Ohio. It was hit by a crater, a meteor millions of years ago, and it's about a 5-mile radius, and it has like ley lines that connect in like a Y shape. So to me, that kind of looks like a peace sign, but I can't believe I didn't know this my entire life. It's just right over there in Ohio.
And I've lived here all my life. I've heard of it, but it didn't mean anything to me, or just never called to me before.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to screen share, so let's just, why is it not? Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that noise or not. Can you hear that noise? It keeps going ding, ding, ding.
I'm not hearing it.
All right. Share screen. Here we go. Jeanette, it's ascensionmaps.com. And you can just go right in there. You'll read, there's a prerequisite to reading. Prerequisite to the journey in the first sacred space. So you go there, there's a 3-minute video, and it'll say enter, and then you enter and go into the first space. There's 9 sacred spaces over there. The first one is the only one that has like a reading requirement, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you guys a little bit from our trip, just so we're not on here all night.
The puzzle. I was like, yes. What is that? Yeah, the puzzle.
Okay, well, Bev shared her puzzle. She let me play puzzle with her. I love puzzles. And so, yeah, we got to build this puzzle. It was a 1,000-piece puzzle, and we did it in 3 days. I think it was.
Day and a half. We did it in a day and a half, because we just kind of chilled and did that.
Okay, now this to me looks like a bear. Doesn't that look like a bear? His nose, his mouth, and he's got his hands, and he's eating something. I don't know. Okay, it just looks like a bear. So I just get pictures in this. I love when you start seeing solar flares and things. Like, look at the ring around, like just unusual stuff. I think I took more pictures of the clouds on the trip. This just looks like a little kid, maybe wearing a Santa hat. I don't know.
It's cool because you see so much in them,
Look at that one. What's that look like?
That one's beautiful.
Okay, let me help you out. I'll turn it sideways for you. Does that not look like maybe a man and a wing, possibly, or something coming out of his heart? Or possibly the tree is a wing, and that's a wing too. You could get really creative with that, but okay. And then there looks like a trident or something. Okay, so this was a rock shop. When we were up there, Bev, do you remember the name, or can you look up the name? Or you probably can't. Can you do that while we're talking?
Yeah, it's just called the Rock Shop. That's the actual name, Linda. The Rock Shop.
And there was cats all over that greeted us, and the guy lives right here, over at his house, and then this is his rock shop. And we didn't take a picture of that because we like the carving of the eagle,
and the eagle.
Snake. Hello, there we are. I threw that in real quick. So sometimes when it's really, really cloudy and stuff, and we're doing spiritual work, the clouds will literally tunnel open and do stuff like this. And it's just pretty amazing. But yeah, there's another one. Oh, that's at the head of the serpent. Yeah, I know. There's us. Hello. And look, oh wait, I got to show you. Look above her head. Look at these. Doesn't that look like
Wow.
angel wings? Okay. I just had to show you that. All right. So this is still winter, but like, here's a little life of spring there. This is a river down on, and it's really far down. Not really far down, but it's a good.
Well, it's quite a ways.
Yeah, it was. You get a little bit like, woo. Just more really cool things in the clouds. I'm not going to tell you what's in there. You probably see what you're going to see and not see what you, oh God, doesn't that look like a cat though? Here's my Simon. Meow.
I just like how the light was filtering through that one.
You like that one? I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. All right. So of course I have to show you the first plaque. I'm not going to go, you took pictures of all the plaques, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I just took that one and that one. Because this is stuff where it's like, oh, look what we did here. We're from Harvard and, we're just going to like put our plaque here and honor ourselves for, it just pisses me off because this is sacred land. This is a burial mound. It's in the shape of a serpentine and it was built. Here's the tail end of it. It was built as a burial ground. Okay, here, let's see if you can see this.
And there's a tower that you could climb and take pictures, but it was shut down for repair. Yeah, if we could have got up there, we could have got really good shots.
The tower's right there. This is the head of the snake on the solar summer solstice. This lines up with the sun setting at the summer solstice. One of these lines up at an equinox. One of these lines up at the sunrise on the summer solstice is here. Sunset is over here. So the sun goes like this, like do 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 do. Like, I don't know. Somehow it does that.
And they have gatherings down there.
They do. They have all kinds of and should we tell them what the lady at the hotel told us? Right.
Sure. Go ahead.
Right in here. This is the head of the snake. All right. And somebody killed himself. He shot himself in there, committed suicide around the equinox. So that was around the 20th or the 21st of March. It just happened. And they said that there was some spiritual people that were going to be coming and doing some things. Well, Bev and I, there's like what do you call it? A museum here it's like a gift shop, basically.
Yeah.
And
history.
Yeah, there's a little burial mound here, and there's one over here that I think that it was like at the bottom of the snake. So there was two of them, and I think they removed one of them, probably when the Harvard guys were excavating to see if there was anything worthwhile in it before they decided to leave it. So anyway, there's these burial mound in here is all burials on top of another burial site. So this was like one built on top of another one by two ancient tribes, native tribes. And here's the thing. The crater hit here. Okay. And this was all underwater a long time ago, but the crater hit in here. And this is where I released the rest of my son James's ashes. We just passed 5 years. You saw these already. And Bev got the pictures for me. So we released his ashes in the crater. Oh yeah. Here's that picture. Summer solstice sunset lines up this way. Summer solstice sunrise is this way. So I don't know how the sun must like come up like this.
How did I miss that? I don't have a copy of that, Linda.
Yeah, it's like a real tight thing all right, spring equinox, winter solstice. So you see how it lines up with the rest of them. It's pretty cool though, isn't it?
How all the ley lines and stuff do. And they said with that meteorite that there's some link to the Pleiadians. I had heard that before we went too.
Okay. Interesting. Now, this we found after, right? After we went?
Yeah, you found it after we went.
After we went, we were like, okay, so this is interesting because this is Serpent Mound. This is Pilot Mount. This is DC, NYC, Philadelphia, DC, all in this line here. Stone. All right, so the Arcadian ley line, the Western civilization grid. That's how it connects. All right. This is Serpent Mound and Serpent ley line. It's a ley line. It's a major ley line in the
We had no idea.
We had no idea. In the icosahedron, it's the bunch of pyramids that run around like like one up, one down, one up, one down. And then at the top, it goes up to a point, and the bottom, it comes to a point. I think it's called an icehedron. But anyway, that's what this major grid line makes across the Earth.
Take that up
Well,
a little bit further.
yeah. So we're thinking about hitting this one. Okay, so what I didn't tell you was when we were here. Whoops, sorry guys. When we were here, yeah, that's a little deck. Is the deck here? Yeah, the deck's here because there's 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Or the deck was in the middle. So
Deck was
anyway,
in the
this
middle.
crater in this area here. The first day we stood in here on the ground, and we did a little bit of work very quietly, very much like under the,
Yeah.
like under the radar, no pomp and circumstance. It's not like we're creating ceremony for the peoples there. We were there to do the work and get it done. I mean, I work very efficiently. I do like ceremony. I really do. I appreciate ceremony. My soul appreciates it so much. But this felt like get it done and get out. It just felt like it needed to happen quick, business, and no pomp and circumstance about it. So, and it's interesting because everybody goes to see this. Everybody goes to see the burial ground.
Right.
The parking lot leads you right to their museum. Ooh, buy this stuff. Ooh, look at our plaques. Look at how cool the snake is. And it's like you're forgetting that this area down here is an intersection and major grid line point intersection for a Y configuration of ley lines intersecting, which it didn't
And we
show
didn't
it.
see nobody else there. Nobody else
No,
was down in there but us.
that's right. Wait, nobody went down in there. A couple people I think were wondering why we were there, but and then I released his ashes on the second day. So this is also a grid node too, and the Bermuda Triangle's within that. So there's other things like there's other grids. You guys can look up the grid, like, but there's other things like these biomes. There's star biomes, and some people say they've done bad things. There's one that covers basically this entire part of the United States. It's in like a big star like this, and you can use it for good and bad. But when we see it, you generally think, oh boy, they're doing sacrifices on those lines, and that's probably what they're doing. But we just started looking at some of the points where there's new fires coming out down here, like, and you got the Pilot Mountain one again, and Ohio, like, so that grid we were just showing you the pinwheel. This is the pinwheel, and they're having attacks here, they're having attacks up here. There's all kinds of stuff. So we're trying to just keep our eyes. That's where the last one was, right there. We're just trying to keep our eyes on what's going on here. Oh, look, it's me and Diane and Bev. She made a nice hi, Di, if you're watching. She made a nice campfire there for us. Yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes on
look at
some
that
stuff for you. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
It looks like almost like a lion head and a heart.
That's what I was thinking.
Were you? Okay. And little wings. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there it is. There's the says that's it zoomed in. That's the kind of stuff I get in my look up here. That's the hey, look, it's the lost plane from the 40s.
We had so many cool synchronicities though. I mean, it was off the chart. Like we got there and I looked at a hotel and whatever and found out the number of rooms in the hotel was my galactic kin number. I mean, just off the wall stuff. Yeah. It was just crazy.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. So let's see. We're thinking about heading in September for the equinox. And we'll let you guys know because it might be something that did I show you on the map where that was? It's West Virginia, but it's the southwestern part of Pennsylvania, the southeastern part of Ohio. It's just below that in West Virginia.
Just in a little dot there, but yeah.
That's not the one, was it?
Yeah, actually, I think it was, Linda.
Oh, crap. Okay.
That's all right.
Whee! That's the one.
Yeah, if you can kind of zoom in, we're looking like right at the, right there.
And see, this is Ohio goes up here. It's almost like this little part here is like, oh, okay, West Virginia, you can have a little bit more. We're not going to make it a nice even grid and just give it to Pennsylvania or give it to Ohio. But anyway, yeah, it's considered West Virginia because it's in West Virginia. Okay. That way. Hello. What you seek, you find. Okay, well, so that's where we're going to be in September, probably. And we'll let you know if like the hotel or area or whatever we're doing. And hopefully you guys will be able to join us. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be cool. A bunch of tribe meetup. That'd be really nice.
Then I would definitely be into creating ceremony. That I'll make sure I bring my stuff. There's other people that are going to be coming. You know, if it's just me and Bev, we're just going to take care of business and be done with it. And no, I'm kidding. My phone, the energetics there were off the chain.
Oh man, we were walking sideways.
We were literally walking sideways twice when we walked around the effigy.
Yeah.
It was pulling us off, and we weren't, just different times, just different dizzy things and everything. I had to make sure we didn't suck in too much because I still had to drive. And after I got back, I have Find Me so that my family can track me when I travel, and I have my Find Me locations on and everything. Well, it left me back at Serpent Mount, so they weren't able to connect. And then for a while, I couldn't send text through. Just signals weren't going. Like I had to balance and stabilize everything that I received there, because when you go to a place, you're bringing your information. You have to bring your body there, because sometimes you're dropping stuff and sometimes you're receiving stuff, and sometimes it's usually both. If it's reciprocal with Mother Nature, it's always both. But when you do it consciously, I'm bringing all this stuff back. Well, I didn't consciously center and ground and realign everything until after I got back and realized, like, I'm still flying here. I still feel like I'm flying through time and space. Like I was vortexing like crazy, and then I finally settled everything down, and then the technology started working again.
And it was funny because when we were done, Linda, we were so hungry and everything just tasted so good that night. It was like the first time I ever ate. I don't know what it was. It was weird. It
was literally like seeing things with a new eye, like a new eyes, a child's eyes, or just experiencing like, ooh, just sweets tasted sweeter. I want something sweet. Like, let me try something. And I was like, no, salty.
Salty. We were back and forth, and eating breakfast foods for dinner. That was cool.
Yeah. All right. What are you guys saying over here? Orbicron. That's a cool name. Angel. All right. Sometimes what you don't see seeks you. What you don't seek seeks you. Is that what you said? Yes. That's a good.
I like that.
I'm going to put that one up there. That's a good one. All right. Amy's in Indiana. She said that's too far of a drive. Indiana. Wait a minute. I guess. Well, how far would I be driving over to your house, Bev? That was 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then it was 2.5 hours from your house.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
And that was clear to the other side of Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's closer to Serpent Mound.
Closer to Serpent Mound than the Moundsville. Yeah. Okay. She says it's incredible. Jeanette's saying it's incredible that the site hasn't been overrun. It's protected.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely is. You could just feel it. I mean, the hairs was standing up on my arm. It was definitely an interesting experience. Beautiful though.
Oh, cool. Stephanie's going to try to make it. Yay.
Cool. Would love to see you.
Yay. We'll keep you in touch then. We'll make sure that
Yes.
When we're planning, but somewhere around the equinox time. I mean, I'll say I like to get my work done early. I'll just say that, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And yay. Okay, Jeanette. She's interested in a pilgrimage with her sisters. Yay.
Awesome.
Corn of the gods. What is corn of the gods? Fertile lands. Okay.
Fertile lands. Okay.
All right. I don't know if that's somewhere. Is that somewhere, Obicron? Is that somewhere we need to look up? Or are you just talking about fertile land in general? I should take a bus. Oh, look at that. Now that's commitment. I love that. I know we were
sounds
really
good,
close
Stephanie.
to doing this before.
Yeah, we were going to do it last year, and something just kind of, It's time. I know it's time for tribes and people to come together too. Definitely, because it's in there, Let's find a new mission, the new path, and people are meeting up, and things are coming online for sure.
Yes, they are. We are opening our gifts, and we are dropping the veils. We're infusing our souls, and we're remembering to leave our energy. We're programming our energy that we're leaving. We're making the intention of what we leave behind.
Linda, you're
And that
buffering real
bright
bad.
1 in 10. What's that?
You were buffering real bad.
What'd you say? Was I? Oh,
You were buffering?
I was
Yeah.
just trying to tell everybody.
I don't know what happened just all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Okay. Because it's probably time to go. We're trying to wrap it up, right? And that's what they do. All right. It's all good. It's all good. We love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks everybody for coming, and thanks Linda for having me.
Corn belt. Thanks for joining us, Bev. Always, you guys, if you want a chart reading, Bev really knows her stuff, and I'm gonna tell you again. If you haven't had your natal
And I'm
chart
excited
done yet,
about
and you want
that
a reading.
Yeah, thanks, Linda. And I was going to say that software, I'm really excited. I could do some really cool things with it. You know, I'm going to do some things like that. And then I'm still going to do the personal readings because those ones, the reports are pretty accurate, but, you know, take it on that personal level too. So make it where anybody can work with their chart if they want to and learn and empower themselves.
Awesome. That's the ticket.
That's right.
What I still got to learn some things from you too. Stephanie's birthday's on 9/11. Wow.
Yes.
Happy birthday early. And
yes, it'd be a birthday trip for her is what she's saying, I think.
That's what she said.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome, you guys. Well, if I missed anybody's question or anything like that, I apologize. But hey, you know, you can start planning your trip in September to Moundsville. I don't know what's in Moundsville. I haven't even looked it up yet, but I'm sure it's really cool. And in the surrounding area, I'm sure it's beautiful in September. So
yes, the fall.
Yes. And I'm sure there's camping around there too, or hotels or whatever suits your needs. But if you guys want to gather in spiritual tribe and just we'll create something special, it'll be really cool. So
that'd be awesome. I can't wait.
11144 just came in. Perfect time.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks again.
Yes. Thank you.
Everybody have a good one.
And
happy eclipse.
Yes. Happy eclipse. Remember, just be a witness and don't be food. Stephanie, that's for you. Don't be food.
Yes.
All right. That one.